Hello, guys. Mm. Oh, there we go. Welcome back to another live stream gameplay video. Today we're going to be playing Tales from Toyotoki, Arrival of the Witch. This game has a lot of restrictions on it, so obviously we're just going to do maybe a gameplay or so. A lot of restrictions. I don't know why. Maybe it's a visual novel. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure if it's an RPG or a visual novel. It's from Kemco and Aksys Games. Aksys, thank you for providing this game for me, and we will try to do our best with it. Yeah, it looks beautiful, by the way. This game looks absolutely gorgeous. So let's see how it is. And today we got the Switch version of the game. I do not have a PS5 version. It is out. It's going to be out on PS5 and Switch, so you can get this now. Let's check it out. Get my legato. And if you say hi, I will respond back. Hello, y'all. I see all my second accounts on here, so thank you. And Kirby Christopher, welcome. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. My one and only fan. And don't hate me if I say I don't like the music, guys. Okay, we're gonna definitely hold on here. I'm not sure how loud this is. Hey, thank you, Kirby, for being here. Yes, this is Kemco. Configure. Yeah, they like sent over like a guide of like what we can send and stuff. I was like, oh gosh, that's not good. Yeah, let's leave it at let's leave it as is, I guess. Everything should be good. Yeah. You can also delete your game saves. Okay, turn down the volume of the background sound. That's the biggest problem I have. Usually, I think it's only Idea Factory with their visual novels. They have a lot of copyright. I'll turn up the voice audio. Okay. Ready? 3, 2. Oh yeah, and guys, if you're live during this stream and the next stream, you'll get either a Natsu or a Lucy. I made a Lucy avatar. You can see them down below. Those are your characters. If you're subscribed or following me on Trovo or YouTube, you'll get one. Huh? It had been decided. Just as I was about to finish my first year of high school, my aunt handed me a piece of paper. This is for you. What's this? It's your boarding pass. A one-way ticket to Naha. Oh my gosh, this is this Okinawa again? I think this is Okinawa. Oh my. What for? I nervously asked. No guardian would give their child a boarding pass without a reason. A bad feeling started to grow in my stomach. And that feeling was right on the mark. Starting tomorrow, you're living with your grandpa. In other words, I was going to move. This was how I ended up leaving Tokyo to live in Okinawa. Who would have guessed it? Every visual novel we're playing is ending up in Okinawa. This is a work of fiction. You cannot sue us if any of these people have your name, or any of these organizations have the same name. Yeah, so FT means a fairy tale, just in case there's another Lucy out there. I like the art style. As soon as I got off the plane, I knew I was in Okinawa. Posters plastered with the word mensor. Billboards advertising Sokisoba. And of course, The tropical air. Let me see if I can get that menu. I want to configure this audio because it sounds really loud on my end. What do I have my audio at? Hold on. I have my audio at 50%. Then this should be lower. Okay, hold on. We want it like almost gone. I like some music, but too much, maybe it'll get copyrighted or something. Yeah. It was the off season, so there weren't that many tourists. I put on my backpack and made my way to the ferry boarding area. From Naha, I took the ferry west. Then I transferred boats again at the terminal. I ate an onigiri while I was waiting. An onigiri. Just something small before I set sail. So these are like little rice ball snacks. I was traveling solo for this trip. All because my aunt's family was moving abroad. I was the only one moving to Okinawa. All thanks to some family matters. I'm used to it though, so it didn't bug me. More than that, I was worried about moving to a remote island. It takes a plane and a ferry to get to the island my grandfather lives on. It'll be a far cry from the city, that's for sure. They probably won't even have any convenience stores. What if I can't keep up with my Leap comics? On vacation now, are we? A senior citizen came up to me, probably found it strange that a young person was traveling alone. Oh boy. Actually, I'm moving here. All by yourself? That must be tough. Where are you moving? Toyotoki Island. I'm going to live with my grandfather. Toyotoki Island? Why in the world would you want to move there? Why? Is there something wrong with that? They don't take too kindly. Oh, here. They don't take too kindly to outsiders, you say? Bad news right off the bat. Say, what's your grandfather's last name? Nishime, I think. My aunt never adopted me, so I still used my given last name. Seeing how it's my grandfather on my father's side, I assume his last name is Nishime too. That's an Okinawa name, at least. If that's so, maybe you'll get along. You think so? Aha! Us Okinawans aren't all too strict. Take care now. Woohoo! He gave me a weird high five. That lifted my spirits a bit. It was time to get on the boat. It was all ocean, as far as I could see. But despite the view, I wasn't excited. The sea is innocent. It doesn't discriminate. The view put me in a poetic mood. I like that. The small boat rolled on for about 30 minutes and finally arrived at the destination. Toyotoki Island. The island I'll call home. Walk for a short while and you'll find the mountains. Turn around and you'll see the ocean. No smell of rusting metal or car exhaust. Not a single odor from the city was present here. Welcome, welcome, so long. Aside from a building with a lounge, there wasn't much that stood out at the port either. I didn't have much, but without a map, I was in real trouble. I only knew the address to my grandfather's house. Do I sound okay, guys? Because I really hope so, because if I don't, This has been a waste of time. I could look it up if I had a smartphone, but of course I wasn't allowed one. Maybe I should ask around. I pulled myself together and left the port. All of a sudden, there were old folks in my path. They were spreading out a banner that read, "Out with the outsiders!" Toyotoki Island Seniors Association. So, that's what they meant. They don't take too kindly to... This is like the South Park of it. We don't take too kindly to your kind around here. Something like that. Outsiders. What's your business here, outsider? How long you gonna stay? Stay? Why are you staying? What's your number? They drew closer. I tried to keep my distance from them, but someone else appeared behind me. The old attack of the old folks. I've been surrounded. Someone help me. Alright, everyone. Oh, yay, we got a voice actor, so she's gonna voice act. Just as I thought, I was done for. A girl showed up out of nowhere. A middle school student, maybe? She was short and pale-skinned. A pretty girl with a charm about her. Oh! He's a friend of yours, family's, is he? Well now, if you say so, you can pass. I'm sorry we scared you, my boy. Care for some candy? The group of elders quickly walked away. That was quite the change in attitude. Okay, so no one's gonna talk. I'm going to hold on. I gotta check out my audio because no one said if it's bad or good. I've been surrounded. Someone help me. It's done for. How bad is my acting? Say so, can't pass. The voice acting is so cringy. Hey, I'm doing my old person voices. Okay. It's fine, I guess. It's a little cringy. Yeah. It's so funny. Okay. You guys gotta let me know if it's okay. Was this girl some important person's granddaughter or something? Nishime-san. As I stood there confused, the girl beckoned me over. Still processing the situation, I mindlessly followed the pretty girl. Yep, that's what we do in life. An island located east of the Okinawan mainland. From above, it looks like a long, thin strip of land stretching north to south. At both ends of the island are mountains with a residential area and fields sandwiched between. There was only one village on the island. Scattered about to the west, near the port, were what could barely be considered buildings. But the stores were completely different from Tokyo. None of the major chain stores were here, not even a sign. On this island, every shop was individually owned. As for public facilities, there was only a library and a community center. Even in scale, there was no comparison. At least, that's what I heard. Actually, this looks similar to some areas in Korea. I think all Asian, like a lot of Asian... Taiwan was different. Taiwan didn't look like this. A lot of Asian places, though, they have these tall walls and these old buildings like this. Yeah, it looks neat. I like this old style of walls and stuff. It looks cool. That's oddly specific. We left the port and walked towards what appeared to be the residential area. The houses here were mostly one story. Red roof tiles seemed like the standard here, which gave the houses an exotic look. The Okinawan lion statues that stood at the gates served to accentuate the feeling even more. Who were those people back there anyways?
あれは、そうですね。自警団のようなものと思ってください。
That's funny. A vigilante group.
ええ。警察っぽいことをする人たちなんですが、昨日置き引きが発生してピリピリしているんです。
And that's why they were
こ
questioning
の
me?
島は観光客も来ませんしね。顔を知らない人がいたら、よからぬ目的で来ているに違いないと考える人たちもいるわけです。西目さんは顔が売れてませんから気をつけてください。
Got it. I'll be careful, but there's something I've wanted to ask
なん
you.
でしょう。明かりの美しさの秘密ですか？
What? No. I wanted to ask, how do you know my name? We've never met before. What?
まさかお忘れなのですか？こんなに愛らしく美しい少女のことを記憶から消してしまったと、そうおっしゃるのですか？
Oh.
そうですよ。忘れているのなら改めて自己紹介をしましょう。私は赤積あかり、豊時島に住まうしがない美少女です。どうです？あまりの愛らしさにシナプスが刺激されたでしょう？
Nope, not at all. So when did we meet?
教えません。そういうのは思い出してこそロマンがあるんです。
Can't you give me a hint?
ダメです。
Nope. No. Huh? I stare into Akari's face. Okay, hold up here. To get a screenshot of this. This looks fun. For someone living in Okinawa, she was fair-skinned. Cute, too. It wasn't a face I would forget. But for some reason I couldn't remember. We must have met a really long time ago. Wait a minute? Does that mean I've been to this island before? I had no memory of it, but there's no way I could have met Hikaru if I hadn't come here. So that means you know my grandfather, right?
あかりの父は西目さんの祖父と親しくしていたと聞いています。西目さんとはその縁です。
Apparently, my grandfather was close to your grandfather. My father was close to your grandfather. That's how we know each other. So that's why. I felt a wave of emotions. The move, this remote island, a reunion with a cute girl who I have no recollection of. Suddenly, everything seemed to be in motion. Was this the end of my colorless existence? The beginning of a new, vibrant chapter? Could this even be the start of a blossoming romance?
到着しましたよ。
We must have walked for 15 minutes. She brought me into the middle of the village. Yeah, that's what I said. This is like classic style. You see a lot of that style over here in Korea too. But usually not this old. This looks like a very old, like the wood part of it looks very old. In front of me was what appeared to be my grandfather's house. Written on the nameplate, Nishime. Thanks for bringing me all the way
い
here.
えいえ。あかりは西目さんから心づけをいただければそれで十分ですので。
Token of gratitude.
日本円と言ってもいいでしょう。西目さん、感謝の気持ちは金額で表現できるんですよ。
In other words, she was asking me to pay up. I felt a cloud casting darkness over my plans for romance. Figures. This is how the world works. I took out 1,000 yen note out of my wallet. Half of my entire savings.
美少女お散歩プランの対価としてはいまいちですが、
Well, this is fun.
西目さんとは知らない仲ではないですからね。野口英世で手を打ちましょう。ではでは。
Hikari plucked the money from my hands and took off. No small talk, no see you again. Whatever. He wants to be poor. I pulled myself together and turned my attention to my grandfather's house. Upon closer inspection, I couldn't see that the garden was a mess. I could see. The garden stones were barely visible from all of the weeds sprouting up. I tiptoed my way through the garden so as to avoid any bugs. When I reached the entrance, I breathed in deep. Was I supposed to say when we met? Long time no see? Or nice to meet ya? I didn't remember if I had met him or not. I should avoid saying anything weird. To be on the safe side, I'll stick with thank you for having me. I rang the doorbell. A doorbell in this type of home? It doesn't look like that would be normal. I waited for a bit, but there was no answer. I tried the bell once more. After the third time, I started to get a bad feeling. Could he be gone? The lights weren't on. Unlike the other houses, there wasn't any car in the driveway. He's gone out on the day that his grandson is coming over. What kind of grandparent does that? Well, there's no point waiting here. I guess I'll take a walk. Not long after the sun had set. Even after it turned dark, my grandfather didn't come. And welcome, Master Chief. Well, crap. I had to admit it. I didn't expect this turn of events. Ah, happy vacation, sir. Would anyone know where my grandfather was? If I do say something off of this, it's because I'm responding to the chat. Okay, guys? I started by asking the neighbor next door, who's there at such a late hour? I have business with your neighbor, Mr. Nishime. Would you happen to know where he is? Nishime? Why, he left the island nearly 6 months back. He left? 6 months ago. Even though I was supposed to live with him? You know where he went? Don't know. I think he mentioned living in a foreign country. Probably Taiwan, if he's saying, because that's the closest country to this. It literally, you could get a flight over from one to the other. That's what I did on my trip. I went from Taiwan to Okinawa, which Okinawa was a mistake. What the hell is going on? By the way, you're not from around here, are ya? Did you get permission to be here from the Seniors Association? Of course, I'm actually Akatsume's guest. Ah, a guest of Akatsume's? Eh? Sorry for questioning you. I brought up Akari's name without a second thought. It seemed to have some effect on the seniors around here. The use of her name should be included in the 1,000 yen I paid her, I believe. So I should take advantage of that. Still, this day is unfolding in entirely unexpected ways. The person I was supposed to live with was nowhere to be seen. This is so rough. Almost feels like the universe is bullying me. If only there was a millionaire falling over somewhere. Then I could help them. Oh, thank you, kind sir. How would you like to have dinner at my place? Turns out they have a child that they were separated from. And boom, turns out I'm their child. What am I doing? Stop daydreaming. Come on, use your head. Think. Ah, okay. So, because my grandfather isn't here, I don't have a place to sleep tonight. I need somewhere to stay. A hotel is out of the question. No way there would be any hotels on this island. There are hotels. I don't know what he's talking about. There are hotels on Okinawa. It's just, if you're coming from the airport, you have to travel a far way. So he had to walk a long way to get there. There aren't a lot of taxis or anything. You have to, you need a phone if you're gonna go here. Yeah, you gotta travel by bus. It depends on where he's at. I don't even have the money for it. In which case, I should use the public facilities. And when you're in trouble, you should go to the police. I've always had a good relationship with the cops. All thanks to how well my aunt raised me, I guess. Good evening. There was a police box on the corner of a residential area. It looked like any other house, so I had a hard time finding it. But thankfully, this should solve my problems. Good evening, is anyone there? No response. When I looked down, I saw a sign was posted. We're closed for today. Seriously? It's closed just like any other shop. The police box is only open until 7 p.m. That is extremely bad. Aren't they supposed to be open 24/7? The countryside, man. Crazy. Yeah, especially it depends on where he's at. If he's more up north, then he's probably not gonna find a hotel so easily. Yeah. It's like, when you go there, it's like an entirely different country. When you go from Japan. I've been both Japan and Okinawa, and Okinawa is like its own thing. Doesn't seem like Japan at all. What the hell am I gonna do? Hey, Emmanuel. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, it's okay. First, my plans for romance are dashed, and now this? I just need to find a place to stay. Any place. Preferably a house with a maid. Jeez. Of course, the maid would be beautiful with huge... Oh, snap out of it already. Look at the cold hard truth. Face the facts. I already know what I need to do. So he's just daydreaming about... He's dreaming about the maid with the big the hoo-has. The fact is, I have only one option. Sleep outside. I can't believe this. I mean, I was supposed to be moving here. Why is this happening to me? But it's not like I have any other options. I hobbled off, leaving the police box behind me. He's gonna sleep in a cornfield? Wait, what is this? At some point I arrived at the eastern part of the island. A sugarcane field. Okay. There's a famous song that calls these fields a sugarcane forest. They really are much larger in person. At least 6 feet tall, I'd say. They grow so densely packed that it does feel like a real forest. On the other hand, the harvested areas are barren and rocky. I try to look for a comfortable spot where I could sit comfortably. Yeah, I see you there, Mr. Snake. As I was searching, I came across a secret base among the field. It wasn't exactly a secret anymore, but judging by how the primitive-looking hut was made with sugarcane, it had to be someone's secret base. It must have been built by kids on the island, which means now that it's nighttime, it'll be unoccupied. I'm just happy it has a roof. I threw in my bag and went inside. It was too narrow to stretch my legs, but if I leaned on my bag and sat cross-legged, I could probably get some sleep. It was still early, but with everything that happened, I was exhausted. Now that I've found shelter, my next task should be to find food, but I don't think I can even stand. None of the shops would be open anyways. Yeah, and they also don't have like the vending machine thing in Japan like crazy. When you go to like anywhere in Japan, there's a vending machine like in the middle of a field. And I don't think Okinawa had this, but like yeah, you go to Japan, it's like vending machine heaven. When I am hungry, I'll just go to the park and fill up on water. All that's left now is to go to sleep. I actually saw a vending machine on the beach in Japan. Isn't that crazy? And all that's left now is to go to sleep.
そこで何してんの?
What are you doing in here? The moment I closed my eyes, someone called out to me. I peeked out my head from the hut. I couldn't help but be bewildered at the sight. There was a girl standing outside. What's more, her appearance looked like she was taken right out of some kind of manga. Her facial features were distinct to start. A distinct sharp face. Too distinct to be entirely from Asia. Whether she was tanned or was born that way, her skin was dark, golden brown. From her appearance, I assumed she was the same age, if not younger than I was. Despite that, she had the figure of a fully grown adult. She had legs that go on for days. She was also well endowed, as she told me she'd cross her arms to rest her chest on them. I wouldn't have batted an eye. And her clothes, they were almost otherworldly. Her clothes, like fabric wrapped around her. Her cape, like something a witch would wear. The pendant necklace around her neck. The earrings hanging from her ears, decorated with precious stones. She had rings on both hands, and on her feet were some durable-looking boots. She was wearing some lavish accessories, but strangely, it didn't come off as gaudy or unpleasant. It felt like they belonged on her. With the moon behind her, it added more depth to the mysterious air she possessed. Is this guy super horny or something? He sounds like it. Our main character sounds like he's like, I'm horny. That's what he sounds like. It was as if she wasn't part of this world. And this beautiful girl was looking down at me. There was no telling what would happen next. Her aura was more than enough to make me feel that way. That being said, I couldn't bring myself to move. I held my breath, waiting for the girl to continue. Then she finally spoke.
それ、私が作ったんだけど。
Soda? You want some soda? Well, let's find a vending machine. I half expected her to say something cliche like, you can see me, or at least something along those lines. I mean, why not? It's every boy's dream to encounter the unknown. But alas, this is the real world. Oh yeah. Sorry about that. Judging by the way she spoke, she wanted me gone, so I crawled out from the hut. As I stood up, a pleasant scent tickled my nose. I think her clothes might have been perfumed with incense. Even after standing up, she seemed tall. She must be at least 5'4".
まったく。こんな時間まで遊んでないで、早く家に帰りなさい。
My goodness. Contrary to her mysterious outward appearance, the girl spoke perfectly fluent Japanese. She didn't speak any otherworldly dialect, nor did she display any supernatural abilities. Of course, why would she? Fantastical delusions are just that, delusions. They aren't real. I would, but I don't really have a house to go home to. That's why I was borrowing this hut.
ダメよ。これは私の家だから。
This is a house? Did you build it
だったら
yourself?
何よ。
Oh, nothing, nothing.
じゃあ、どっか行って、気が散るから。
You're getting on my nerves, jeez.
まだ何か用？
I don't have a house, so could you teach me how to make a hut, please? I lowered my head. And I have nothing to eat. Could I maybe have some of your food? Wow, what a mooch. I may have been a bit too greedy with that second request. I should just get my own food, really. Ah.
食べ物は少ししかないから。
I don't have a lot of food to give, alright? Wait, I can...
今回だけだから。
Very, very happy right now. After a short struggle, I finished making a hut for myself. The girl made it known that she didn't want me anywhere near her. And so I built it on the opposite side of the field. It'd be best to camp near each other so that wild animals won't come near us. But apparently she found me more of a threat. Girls, am I right? Now that my hut was finished, I went over to get food. I decided that the candy and chocolate in my bag would be a nice gesture of goodwill.
なんだ、食べるものあるじゃない。
He sounds greedy now. You had food? Chocolate and candy for dinner? Not unless I was stranded on an island. What are you going to eat?
これよ。森で捕まえたの。
What'd you catch? They were snakes. Judging by the blood that was dripping, she must have killed them recently. Am I on a survival show right now? Can you really eat
バ
that?
カね。これが生にでも見えるわけ？
Apparently, she thought I was joking. It seems like our lifestyles, scratch that, our whole world views were different. As I stood frozen in shock, she began gathering dry grass. Before long, she had a campfire going. Ah, this is one of the screenshots they send you. I got sent. I have some more stuff from this game like this. Talking about vipers. So that's why there's snakes in the picture. How long have you been on this
昨
island?
日、来たばかりよ。
Are you on a trip or something?
野暮よ。
Oh, okay.
それにしても、この島の人って裕福よね。
She suddenly changed the topic. What do you mean by
みん
blessed?
な綺麗な服を着て、家がある。飢えてる人も、奴隷もいない。
So what do you normally eat?
パンとチーズ。あとは狩りに出ていたわ。
Hunting, right? Where could she be from? Something from my geography class came to mind. A few stories from faraway countries. There are still children out there that work for $1 a day. Who takes 3 hours to get to school? Oh, I think in India they have some bad problems with child labor. Is it alright if I ask you, you know where you're
あ
from?
んたに話す理由がない。
She has a point. How about your name? That's okay, right? Mine is Hikaru Nishime.
リルーよ。リルー・ジャミティだ。
That's a long name. Her name had a mysterious ring to it. Could it be an Indian name? Or maybe it was Hispanic. I couldn't tell. If she was a real person, I think you could tell the difference between a Hispanic person and an Indian person. They look quite different. Okay. They're done. Go ahead and eat. And why would she speak perfect Japanese, man? Lillian handed me a snake. Whole roasted, pit viper, head and all. Aren't vipers supposed to be poisonous? Or were they venomous? Maybe it's okay to eat as long as they're cooked. The wild lifestyle wasn't something I was used to. I hesitated, but in the end, my hunger won. Whole roasted snake. On a scale from inedible to delicious, I'd say it was bearable. That was random, dude. Well then, stay safe. Tell that to yourself. It doesn't sound very happy. After making a bit of small talk, we parted ways. I returned to my little hut and sat down against my bag. Now, what was I going to do tomorrow? Where is he now? When will he come back? I need to find someone who knows. If that fails, I'll head to the police box. I can manage one night, but two? That's tough. Worst case scenario, I can't get in contact with my grandfather. What happens when you don't have a guardian anyways? I never expected to be in this kind of situation. I don't know how I would be treated. It's bad for the heart not knowing. The anxiety started setting in. When it does, I try imagining the worst of the worst. It helps me realize that things wouldn't actually be so bad. It makes me feel better. As of now, the worst case scenarios are either being thrown into an orphanage or having to live on my own. Regardless, it would be far better than my time in Tokyo. This remote island, moving out, meeting beautiful girls. It started off so well. Why am I surviving out in the wild now? I'm used to being bullied, but this isn't too bad. But any other boy would probably cry right now. Oh well. Whatever. Time to get some sleep. And so, that is how my first night after moving ended. In the end, I couldn't get any sleep. Even though I laid down some grass, the ground was still hard and made my back hurt. I kept waking up throughout the night. I adjusted my bag and my body for a comfortable spot. By the time I found a good position, the sun was already high in the sky. At least I can finally rest. Good night. What the heck was that? Why did you slap me, girl? Let me in. My sleep was interrupted by a merciless fist. What's going on? Am I being attacked? Hey. Lillian crammed herself into my single-person hut. It was obviously impossible for us to sit facing each other, so instead she positioned right on top of me. Her clothes blocked my entire vision. And based on the clothes I could see, I was looking right at her chest. I don't think I've ever been this close to a pair of boobs before. You guys, you know what? We went up to, like, our, more people came in, and then they left right before the part where he said about this. It was so close, though, that I could barely make out any stitching of her clothes. Guess being up close isn't always a good thing. So what exactly is going on? She scolded me in a hushed tone. A moment later, I could hear the angry voices of a few elders. Where did that girl go? She's a quick one. And she's got no permission to be here. That's for sure. The voices, they're familiar. It's the three from the Seniors Association. They must have caught Lillian hanging out around in the area this morning. Those guys are trying to drive away outsiders. You should be careful out there. Like, seriously. I gave her advice with a whisper.
そうなの？野菜を盗んだのがバレたのかと思ったわ。
I can't believe I'm harboring a literal criminal. Could she be on the reason why the Seniors Association is on the edge?
言ったみたいね。
Looks like they're gone. It must have been only a few minutes. The elders seem to have given up and left. I left the
昼間に行動するのは無理かもしれないわね。
Serves you right. Maybe you don't steal.
盗まなかったら死ぬわ。
And what? Starve to death? Wow, talk about defiant. Fine, then as a payment for feeding me last night, let me teach you a magic spell that'll drive away the seniors. Recite the words, I am a guest of Akari Akatsumi, and they'll disappear into thin air.
何それ？
What are you talking about? Hey, there's no harm in memorizing it. I could tell that Lilun wasn't fully convinced, but I still saw her recite the words a few times.
私、もう行くわ。あんた
Now
も
we're just gonna use that
私が
girl
悪
for
人だって
everything.
分かったなら、関わるのはやめた方がいいわよ。
Akari is that's what it is, man. Akari. Just use Akari's name. Yep. I know Hikari. Okay. No use in worrying about it now, I guess. I have more important things to worry about, mainly my own survival. I made my way to the port, while making sure I wouldn't get spotted by the Seniors Association. Yeah, you know, old people are crazy. They're not good. The Toyotoki Island ferry. Ferry goes out in the morning and comes back in the evening, which means to leave the island, you have to be at the port first thing in the morning. When I arrived in the waiting lounge, it was bustling with the islanders. After a quick look, I found who I was looking for. Hey, can I ask you something? As I spoke to them, they took out their earphones and looked up at me.
西目さん、どうしたんですか？ストーカーですか？
You said my grandfather knew your father, right? Could you ask him where my grandfather might be? Or his contact information may be?
いえ、行き先は父も知らないと聞いていますが、何かあったんですか？
I told her that my grandfather wasn't on the island and that I was in trouble. I also briefly explained how I'd gotten here in the first place.
それはまた。しかし残念ですが、父には西目さんの家庭のことはわからないでしょう。役場にも転出の届けがなかったと問題になったくらいですし。
Oh, that's a good idea. That was one of my lifeline, Sorry to bother you.
大したことでは。船が出てしまうので、あかりはもう行きますが、何かあれば連絡してください。
No more
美
money.
少女が駆けつけますよ。有料で。
Hikari tried to give me her contact information. Unfortunately, I didn't have a phone. There wasn't any time to write it down either, so we decided that if anything came up, I would wait for her at the port. Apparently, Hikari often went to the neighboring island. That meant that she was almost always waiting for the ferry. If I wanted to, finding her would be relatively easy. Oh man, I'm beginning to think I was right. I had ongoing theories since yesterday. One, that I didn't want to be true, but now, unable to contact my grandfather, it's starting to feel more and more real. On the road, a life insurance saleswoman asked me, "Are you enrolled in life insurance plan?" "Oh, sure, sign me right up." Suspicious, very
何が
suspicious.
どう怪しいのよ。何もおかしなことはしてないわ。
So sus. When I got back to the field, Lillian was arguing with a man. The man had a towel wrapped around his head, a sickle in his left hand, and working boots on. At a glance, I assumed he was the owner of the field.
私は用事があってここにいるだけ。気にしないで。
What about their names is familiar, Mr. Snake? He said Hikaru cross Kari. Name is familiar. Take care of the business, eh? In my field, I don't suppose you're here for work, are you?
それを言う気はないわ。
So you're trespassing then? Should I call the authorities? Conversation was getting out of hand. No. See, we really are here for work. We just arrived on the ferry yesterday. I decided that it was best for me to jump in. Lillian tried to say something, but I signaled her to let me handle it. Quite young, are you? What about the girl? Is she in one of those cosplays? Excuse me, are you trying to disrespect the culture of her people? Oh, no. The man's face turned embarrassed as I yelled at him. You're funny, guys. Didn't mean to offend you. I know it isn't right to discriminate. This old man just isn't used to seeing foreign folk in person, is all. Sorry. Well, as long as you understand. Still, he could have done better, too. I'll make sure to give her a talking to. Right. So, on to work. Are you two ready? We're ready. Got plenty of energy to spare. Okay, then. You can go change over there. Great. We'll get right to it. I took Lillian by the hand and left the area.
何のつもり？
What are you up to? What am I up to? You're practically begging to get arrested. If I wasn't there, you'd be locked up in a cell by now. Do you even have a passport? Silence. Just as I suspected, she hadn't come to the island by legitimate means. Listen, I don't know what you're up to, but you should at least learn not to act so suspicious. Oh, we're at about an hour, guys.
余計なお世話よ。
Okay, let me see here. Can we save? Yeah. Oh, we did finish the prologue. Oh, we're still in the prologue, but yeah. Yep, that's it for this game. Yeah, because I want to try to get at least 2 hours or so almost 2 hours then into Fairy Tale. So we're gonna be doing Fairy Tale Dungeons. You guys gotta stick around for that. It should automatically take you there, but if not, if you left early, I'm gonna give you a link to it. You're gonna start it right away, okay? And we already got the Fairy Tale characters, so as long as you're following the channel on Trovo or YouTube, subscribed on YouTube, you'll get an on-screen character. And make sure you check out all the other videos. We had over 20 new videos this week, so many. Here you go. There's a link to the Fairy Tale one. It's on PC. We're going to be doing that soon. So as soon as I stop this one. Okay, and let me see how much this game costs if you're interested in this game, because I'm not allowed to even show off the whole game either. It does seem, I like it though. Oh, it has a 9 out of 10 on Steam. So it came out 2022 in Steam, but it just came out on PS5 and PlayStation 5 and Switch. This is on the Switch, and it looks fine on the Switch. 20,000 won. I guess that's about $25, maybe on PC. Let me see. Switch eShop. It's called Tales from Toyotoki, Arrival of the Witch. Oh man, this game looks like it's gonna get better too. I wish I could stream the whole thing for you guys. But yeah, there's restrictions. $29.99 on Switch. So honestly, if you have a Steam Deck or you have Steam, I would get it on Steam. It's a little cheaper. You could play it on Steam Deck. You would get achievements. PlayStation 5, at least you get achievements if you like it. Yeah, it just came out on the 22nd. So that was Thursday. This is Aksys Games game and Kemco. Thank you for watching. Don't forget the thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe. And I'll see you soon in the fairy tale video. Bye-bye.